Excited to be back here, those of us with personnel background. We had an interesting 2011 season. 2012 is now upon us, and our focus is definitely on building our football team. You know, the Atlanta Falcons, our focus is to be a better football team in all facets of the game. We have had a lot of changes already within our organization from a coaching standpoint and organizational standpoint. We've had some very fine football people leave our organization. We said at our postseason presser that there were going to be changes, and they weren't going to be tweaks. They were going to be significant changes. That's come to fruition so far, and quite honestly, we haven't even kicked off our player acquisition and player moves, so there's a lot still to be done within our organization at this point. So with that, we can open it up to questions.
Thomas, could you talk about, the parameters for that process going forward, where you all are at with your evaluations and how you sit with free agency sitting around the corner here on the 13th?
Well, as most of you know, we have 18 unrestricted free agents on our team. Our focus is going to be on re-signing the players on our team that we deem as, very important players for us to continue to build and be that better team that we want to be. That's where our focus will be at the outset. Obviously, we're looking out in the market if certain things present themselves. I won't get into specifics on that. We have a draft around the corner that we've been planning for over a year, and though we don't have a first-round draft pick, our focus has been approaching it with 55 being our number one pick going into the off-season, into this year's draft.
What's the potential quality for you at 55?
Oh, there's some great quality in this draft. There's some positions that we think that there's some great depth, and I'm really impressed with this draft class. 55 for us in the second round. There are always players that you can get that can significantly impact your football team, and we think that we're dialed in on some players in that area at this point already.
Thomas, what can you say about Les Snead, and what kind of GM do you think you'll be?
Les Snead was one of the guys I had referred to earlier. Les has had an opportunity to be schooled throughout the Atlanta Falcons organization as well as Jacksonville, has learned the ups and the downs of the business. We had a chance to spend a lot of time over the last 4 years since 2008. He had the opportunity to basically live through personally my trials and tribulations as a general manager. We talked every day about so many different things, so I think it's going to be very beneficial for him to step into the role that he has in St. Louis. He's an adept evaluator. He's a very, very hard worker and very passionate man as far as football goes, and I think he's got a very unique and open-minded look at the National Football League, and I think he's going to bring some very fresh ideas, and he's going to work very well with Jeff Fisher.
What do you think of this year's running back class as a standalone group and compared to recent draft classes?
Yeah, it's a fine running back class, and I think there's some speed there, there's some versatility there in that running back class. You have some big guys that are going to tote the rock with a lot of power, and you have other guys who can catch the ball and run and create. So, as it stands compared to other running back classes, I think once again this is one where throughout the draft I think you can pop off some very significant players in the game.
How do you feel about the trade with the Browns a year later?
I feel very comfortable with it. We've talked about it within our organization, obviously before, leading into the draft, throughout the season, and post-draft, and it's something that I've said from the very beginning. Our move and our desire to have Julio Jones on our team was something that we feel very, very comfortable with. We accomplished in our minds becoming more explosive. We also believe that we need to continue to grow as an offense, and we'll continue to look to upgrade at all areas along our offense. And we will never look back on our move as being one that was overly expensive. It was something that we deemed was right for the organization at the time. And again, Julio was brought into our organization as not for the here and now only, but for the future of the franchise.
Was there something that was holding him back in his rookie year?
No, I think Julio had a fine rookie year. He missed 3 games with an injury. He was just shy of 1,000 yards. He led rookies in all touchdowns. He made an impact on our football team that we enjoyed at so many levels. The fan base obviously enjoyed watching him. He's a guy that you're always on the edge of your seat waiting to watch. He complemented the way that Roddy White plays the game, and Tony Gonzalez as well as worked for Matt Ryan very well. So we have nice expectations for Julio in the future.
How much can a full offseason help a young wide receiver like him?
Well, I think for Julio it's going to be incredibly beneficial. He's the kind of guy who's very, very passionate about the game. He works very hard athletically, to me, he's right up there with the top ones in this league. And I think now going into the season, having the ability to work with Matt Ryan and work on the timing in the game, which is very, very important in this game, it'll help him significantly.
Picking at 50
obstacles or frustrations that go into making a big draft day trade like that, giving up so many picks?
Well, the idea of giving up picks, again, I think it's very, very important in today's game to understand that your picks are there to acquire picks, but they're also there, in my mind, personally, given the situation and given the organization, to use as trade fodder, and I think that's very important. I don't think in this day and age you can just sit on your hands personally and wait for things to always come to you. If you have a desire and you know what you want as an organization, I firmly believe that you need to go after it.
So if there was a player in this draft, would you guys kind of go that same route?